Hello, welcome pen friends. Today I thought we'd do a little bit of paper comparison between two very specific papers. The first one being Cosmo Air Light Cream 75 GSM. This is from Jet Pens. Okay, and then the other one is Jet Pens Cosmo Air Snow 75 GSM. Now this is very white and I'm wondering, and this is slightly cream. I don't know if you can see the difference. It may be really hard with the lighting that I have to work with. But what happened was I've been writing with the Cosmo Air Light for quite a while now on the loose A5 size. That's what both of these are. And then earlier in the week I got a letter from pen friend Matt over at Ink Swatch, and inside was some sheets of sample of the Cosmo Air Snow, which I hadn't even heard of. Okay, and I thought, well, gee, my next letter to answer, I thought, well, I'll use this. I used 2 sheets, and I wrote to one of my pen friends, and it was astounding. Like, it stood out. I didn't think it would. I actually thought, well, no, I take that back. Based on how beautiful his inks looked on his letter to me on this paper, that may have been what made me go ahead and try it right away, because usually it takes me a while to get around to trying samples of paper or ink samples even. I tend to just keep going with what I'm using until it's gone, and then I'll try something new, kind of one thing at a time. So I had good expectations, but I did not expect it would be different than the Cosmo Air Light. So I'm still a little bit surprised, and I'm trying to work out for myself why, without doing like 3 hours worth of research on jet pens. I could do that. But right off the bat, this feels smoother, but I can't figure. They both feel smooth, but there seems to be a difference. Let's see, take one page at a time. I don't know. All I know is I'm kind of excited to write on each one and then compare the 2 sheets. So let's do that. And I thought if I did it with you, so to speak, it might go better. It might be more, I might focus better and actually do the project. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I've got a piece of CVS Caliber steno notebook paper that I like to use underneath when I don't have lines. So I'm going to put that under here. And we're just going to start pulling from the pens that I have already inked up for September. They're all in my Rickshaw Sinclair R. Beautiful purple splatter. And this is the first one I want to see. This is Lamy Vista with Robert Oster Muddy Crown. And it has that beautiful stub nib. So let's go. Let's just start. Okay, I'm going to do it differently than writing a letter, though. I'm going to do a little color box. Let's see, maybe I'll make it a little bigger without maybe getting too fuzzy. Okay. Just to try to help so you can see. Okay, so this is Lamy Vista 1.5 nib. Okay, ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, and this is Robert Oster. Muddy Crown. Now, I guess what I'll do so that we have an apples to apples comparison, and that does look wet. Yeah, that's very nice and wet. So I'm sure it has to dry. If we need to, I've got a blotter gizmo here that we can use, but I think I'll just set that aside and get the other one. I'm going to use the labeled ones because I could get confused very easily. Okay. Feels very good to be at my pen desk. It's been quite a week, let's put it that way. I will explain about that later in a different format, I think. But okay, so here we are. Here we are on the Cosmo Air Light, and the first one, of course, was the Cosmo Air Snow. I see shading, which I love. It's pretty. But let's keep on, and then we can do our, I guess we'll do our like comparison at the end. Okay, so Lamy, Vista, 1.5. Try to do the same things so that when we go to compare, we'll have a good idea of something. Robert Oster, Muddy Crown. I really like these papers for the fact that they're thicker than Tomoe River paper. I still love Tomoe River paper, and I'm using up several notebooks that are going to be my ink journals for as long as they last. But for letter writing, it became a little harder for me to find just what I wanted, and I also was tired of the thinner, the 52 GSM, which I never thought that would happen to me. But it's also, the availability is a little bit different, and I don't, you know, I don't have for you the exact problema, or what is the only word that could come to my mind on that as to why. But I just happen to notice in my 90 miles an hour trying to find it that it's harder to find. The 68 GSM is easier to find, but it's more pricey, and I go through it like, you know, water, so that doesn't help me if it's harder to find and I go through so much of it and cost a little bit more money. I mean, yeah, the 52 is harder to find. The 68 is more expensive. So let's see, which one will be next? Next is, wow, Chris, I can't make up my mind. Okay, definitely these are the two I pick first this month. This is the Hongdian, see, it has a number of 1851, and I'm thinking I should be calling it an 1851, but it has a Fude nib, so that's what I'm trying to say. So this will be our second ink. They're still able to see. Hongdian 51, is that the number? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's upside down and inside out. Okay, Fude nib, which I love, love, love. Ooh, that's off the paper. That's off the paper, juicy. That's just exactly how I like my ink, too. And this is Robert Oster bronze. That's my sample of that. But I have a bottle now, too. Bronze, okay, that's nice. Again, still going to be drying for a minute here. A lot of times when I'm writing letters on these kinds of papers, I'll go ahead and do my front, because I write front and back, and then I'll run off and do some little chore while it dries. I don't really worry about drying times very much. Hongdian, 1851, Fude. Nice. Gee, the experience now, you know, side by side like that, feels very similar. Only time will tell. Huh. It really stumps me why it stood out so much. Now, that could be almost anything. It could have just been a nice writing time or a happy mood or something like that. And I do know that there, even this slight of a difference between cream and white, as there is with these two papers, you really do see the inks differently if it's cream or if it's white. So that's very subtle. It's not like some of them are, but okay. Let's grab this one. This is another one of them that's real juicy. This is the Diamond 580 with the Muddy Dragon. Let's see. To be able to do this. TWSBI Diamond 580. AL Rose. That's going to be off the paper too, yeah. Robert Oster. Muddy Dragon. I really like this. I wouldn't have told you that I was going to like this combination quite as much as I do, but I really do. And of course my update has not been done yet, my progress report, but it's next. It's just that I felt like doing something a little different, and Willie's feeling better, so I feel that I'll have time to do both. And I thought this might be fun because maybe you, like me, might not have heard of Cosmo Air Snow. Only it takes me a while to learn about these things because I'm not actively looking for things to buy. I'm being as careful as I can be. So this was really neat. I really thank Matt for sending the samples. 580. Oh, we forgot all about putting broad. Oh my goodness. Rose. Oh, I'm making all kinds of mistakes. Robert Oster. I'm trying to make them look the same and they're not going to. But Muddy Dragon. All right, nice and juicy. Okay, we'll do a couple more. In fact, we might do something a little different. For this next one, I really am clamoring to use my water brush because that's part of my experience as far as how I like paper. Because a lot of times when I write a letter, I'll do something around the edges or activate something. I'll put a box around something I write. We might even do that. We might copy something down. Okay. I'm having decision problems today. Okay, let's try this one. This is the Muddy Water. Might as well stick with the Muddies, the Muddy series, I guess, in the Opus 88 Omar. But I'm going to grab my notebook because I wanted to copy a quote or something, make a box around it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I could get it the way I have it written in my bullet journal. And the quote is, the 3 grand essentials of happiness. Whoop, I see I smeared just a little there, but there could be cat hair everywhere in this house, I'm sure. Are someone to love. I got it out of order, but that's okay. Something to do. Whoops. And something to hope for. And it has been changed around in modern times more to say something to look forward to. It's funny reading that or thinking about that right now. When I was younger, every Christmas, then after Christmas I would go and buy on clearance the Christmas paper, because it was sort of a letdown to have the Christmas season over, but when I would do that, it was sort of an act of looking forward to the next time Christmas came again. So I used to always do that. Okay. I want to go around the outside and then use a water brush, but now here we are, we're going to run into my brain again of trying to decide. I think we might just take, this is, let me make sure I know what this is. Should be blue denim. Yeah, this is Robert Oster blue denim. We'll go around the outside just, maybe we will. Maybe this isn't blue denim either. No, this is Tranquility, so I have a grand, oh, look at that. That's why I was having what I was having. It, you know, you saw it just it didn't want to start. That's okay. We are not, I think they say the enemy of done is perfect, or the perfect is the enemy of, oh my goodness. Wow, this is real, folks. Let's go ahead and encourage it a little. you can tell I was more involved with Willie than I was my fountain pens ever since Sunday. So this is Friday. And all the nursing care and TLC is paid off. So, okay, we have tranquility around the edge, even though we were aiming for blue denim. Let's see, though. It'll be spectacular because I always love how tranquility looks. So I'm going to make sure my water brush is ready. I'll go around. Oh, now we'll just run right through that red. That'll be interesting. It's kind of neat. It's really neat if you can do this while you're writing a letter. If you want to say something and highlight it, you can just do this. And I like doing that. I don't always slow down to do it, but... Okay, this paper really likes this. I would imagine artists would have fun with this paper. This is cool. Oh, and I've left myself wide open for... I got to go over and do this on the other paper. I think I better get to it, too, because... That'll be it, and then we'll start comparing and see what we think. We can leave that on the water brush since we're just going to replicate things.
12 p.m.
Noon, oh boy. Okay, it might be nice if I open that shut-off valve too. Okay, we're going to do literally the same quote, hopefully. It feels different on this paper. Okay, we're now on Cosmo Air Light Cream, and it feels different. This pen, this is the first one that I felt the difference. And it doesn't feel smoother, even though I opened this up, so, That's odd. Essentials of Happiness are... Oh, I forgot to put the name. Well, that's a classic. I have two names. I have George Washington Burnup and Alexander Chalmers. There seemed to be difficult to figure out for sure who said this first. I ran across it as a quote that Elvis loved in one of the books I was reading, so I wanted to find out where it came from. And I found those two names, so... I put a question mark and wrote both names down in my bullet journal. Something to do. Something to hope for. Yeah, I kind of look forward to better too. Okay, well, it's going to be a little different, but I'll go ahead and put the name. George Washington Burnup, who I think was a writer. And then, question mark, the other name, Alexander. I didn't get as far as I should have to see what the dates were that they lived and died and so forth to find out if I could somehow discern who said it first. Sometimes you just can't. That's all. And also the internet is not like necessarily always perfectly correct, so who knows. But it's an excellent quote. And it's really something that you can meditate about and think about. So this one's going to look a little different because I included the names, but we still got tranquility around the outside. Let's see how this one does with the addition of the water and so on. I mean, I can tell you right now that I already know both papers are good papers, but I was really hoping to figure out, if I could, why I like this one a little better. And there's a difference there too. Of course, we're going to have to allow the activation for a minute and let it dry a little. They're the same price. They're $11 each, you know, the package of 100. So let's change this a little bit so you can then see what's going on. Good grief, I haven't paid attention. Okay, so again, we've got Cosmo Air Snow on the left. It's more white. and bits and pieces on every corner that drive me absolutely crazy. And then Cosmo Air Light Cream on the right. I don't know. I mean, I'm tempted to say maybe this is just a little smoother and coated. And this one is just a little more textured slightly, but it's not a whole lot. I still feel it that I like this one better. It's yummy. Let's see the back of that. It held the water really well. Nice. This one probably still a little bit wet. Yeah, felt the same. I mean, nothing went through, of course. It's just really, they're really nice papers. I think if you hadn't heard of them, or if you hadn't heard of this one as an option, especially, it's great. It's wonderful. This is just letter writing in terms of, you know, what I would use this for. And some of the other stuff I've been using, of course, is the CVS Caliber notebook. I used to be able to buy tablets in this, and those were preferred, and now they're just not there anymore. I don't know why. So this is the Made in Vietnam paper, but not all of the inks go well on this, and it just is a difference in that you can feel. It lightens the colors, and they aren't showcased quite as well as they are on these. But if a pen is wet enough and it really like puts down the ink, which we'll leave that for the progress report, because I could tell you that these two went really well in the Unison Composition Notebook, which is the same paper as the CVS Caliber. And then another paper I've been trying is this Life brand, which I'll have to link you to. I'm almost done with it, and I like it, but yeah, I like it. I think, it's got the lines, even for me, are quite wide, but I do like it. And I think it had just fewer pages or something like that. You can tell by the link, and I'll probably make a note of that too. I like getting 100 sheets at a time, because I mean, I go through it so fast. So I don't know. Let me hold this up. We have really nice shading on all of these inks. None of them felt draggy or dry. Everything felt so good. There is a difference, isn't there, in that water box? Huh. Very interesting. Now, I've heard it said, when I read like a review of this paper, this Air Snow, that it might widen your line width slightly on some. But to me, that might actually, as long as it's not feathering, and it isn't, that might be to my benefit, because there's nothing I hate worse than writing with a nice broad nib, and I know it's supposed to look broad, and it looks more like a medium or, you know, a fine. I don't like that when that happens, and that can happen on the CVS Caliber paper. It's not horrible, it's just that you really have to pick and choose on that paper. Let me hold this one up. This is the Air Light. Huh. It's amazing. The box is... This one just feels a little crispier somehow. But the thickness seems the same. Okay, two really good papers. I think that's what came out of this. I'll definitely, it's not like I won't use up what I have of this, but this is the next one on my radar. I'm so grateful to Matt for sending me the sample, and exciting. I wish that I slowed down and tried samples of paper immediately that people send in, because a lot of times I'll find it that I've put it somewhere and I've either forgotten to put a little tag, so I'll have to then go back and match it with the letter and remember which paper is this. So this time I remembered to at least, you know, get a little label done. And hopefully this is in some way helpful to you. There are lots of other papers. I've even used the Scholar tablets that are $1. The thing on these is they feel, they don't feel as smooth unless it's, some pens will feel fairly smooth, and a lot of them do go ahead and seep through. But this is great paper for getting that much, you know, a tablet of, I think it's 100, isn't it? Yeah, 100 sheets for $1. Oh my goodness, you know, why not use one side if you're not paying 11 cents a sheet, you're paying a penny a sheet. That's, or a little more than a penny, because most of the dollar stores have gone up to $1.25. This is getting very wordy, and I will have to listen to it to even see if there was anything in it, you know, that might be halfway useful. But it got me started. It broke the ice, and it's a happy day because of Willie having a good day today and yesterday. So I will see you back here with my progress report, and hopefully this helps someone. Bye for now.